Hello. After learning yesterday permutations and combinations synopsis, a few more synopsis points are left off, and then we will go to shortcut methods. I'll tell you many problems where you can remember the shortcut method formulas and do it and save lot of time. So, where we left yesterday was just introduction of combination I did. And after that, I did not give you any formula as such. So first I will give you NC0. It is n factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial. So that will be n factorial by n factorial. 0 factorial is 1. So when you cancel, the answer for NC0 will be 1. So remember this formula, NC0 is always 1. In the same way, if you take NCN, it will be n factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial. So after cancelling n factorial, you will have 1 by 0 factorial, which is 1. So NCN is also equal to 1. NC0 is 1, NCN is 1. Coming to NC1, it is n factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial. So n factorial you can write n into n minus 1. Stop here by putting factorial so that you can cancel n minus 1 factorial. Left is n. So NC1 is n. Actually, when you deal with numbers, suppose if you have 7C2, if you use the formula, what you will do is n factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial. You will write like this for NCR. And then after that 7 factorial by 5 factorial into 2 factorial, you will write as 7 into 6 into 5. You stop here putting factorial so that 5 factorial and 5 factorial cancels. 2 factorial you can write 2 into 1. So 7 into 6 by 2 into 1, it becomes 21. But instead of doing in this long method, there is shortcut method for NCR also, 7C2. And that is start with 7, 6, take only two numbers. Start with 7, take only two numbers, and because here 2 is there, divide by 2 factorial. So quickly you can say it is 21. Similarly, if you have 8C3, start with 8, take 3 numbers by 3 factorial. So 6 and 6 will cancel, 56 will be the answer. Now, there is one important formula in combinations. That is NCR equal to NCN minus R. That means if you have 7C5, you can write it as 7C 7 minus 5. That means 7C2. So 7C5 is same as 7C2. If you want one more example, if you have 9C6, you can write it as 9C 9 minus 6. That means 9C6 can be written as 9C6 can be written as 9C3. Why this is useful, I will tell you in shortcut method also. Suppose if I give you 7C5 and if you use shortcut method, start with 7, take 5 numbers 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 and divide by 5 factorial. So that 543 will cancel, 2 3s, you will have 21. Instead of doing this, if you do 7C2, it will be easy because start with 7, take two numbers, divide by 2 factorial. So 21. See, you dealt with how many numbers here and how many numbers you dealt with here. Similarly, if you want to do 9C6, start with 9, take 6 numbers 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 and divide by 6 factorial 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Cancel 6, 5, 4. After that, 3 3s 9. After that, 2 4s. 3 4s 12, 12 7s 84. Instead of doing in a difficult way, you can take 9C3 and then say start with 9, take 3 numbers, divide by 3 factorial. So directly you will cancel 3 3s, 2 4s and then you will write 84. Compared to this long, this is still shortcut method. That's why NCR will be equal to NCN minus R is very useful. If you have 9C6, a big number, you can make it small, 9C3, a small number. And then you can expand this 9C3. Start with 9, take 3 numbers by 3 factorial and then 3 3s, 2 4s, 84 will be the answer. Like this you can do it. So every formula will be useful. The next formula is if NCR will be equal to NCS, then there are two possibilities. Either R will be equal to S or R plus S will be equal to N. For example, suppose if I give you 7CR equal to 7C2 and I'll ask you find R. Then either R will be equal to 2 or R plus 2 will be equal to 7. That means R can be equal to 5 also. That means if R is 2, 7C2 equal to 7C2. Obvious, you can see and tell. But if R is 5, 7C5 will be equal to 7C2. Because you know NCR equal to NCN minus R. So for R, you can find two values like this using this formula. Then there are some more formulas, just you take a note of them. Like NCR plus NCR minus 1 is N plus 1 CR. For example, if I ask you what is 7C6 plus 7C5, then you can say it will be 7 plus 1 C6, that is 8C6 using this formula. Then the next formula is if you have NC0 plus NC1 plus NC2 and so on up to NCN, you can write it as 2 power n. The next formula is NC0 plus NC2 plus NC4, all even numbers when you take, will be equal to NC1 plus NC3, all odd numbers I'm taking here, and it will be equal to 2 power n minus 1. You will learn about this more in binomial theorem. At present, you learn them as formulas. The next is you can write NCR as N by R into N minus 1 CR minus 1. Or You can write it as n by r into n minus 1 by r minus 1 into n minus 2 c r minus 2. And this will continue. Forever you can continue this. And from this formula only, we will have NCR by NCR minus 1 as n minus r plus 1 by r. For this, I will give you one example. Like if I ask you what is 7C4 by 7C3, then in short you can write it will be 7 minus 4 plus 1 by 4. That means 3 plus 1, 4 by 4, it will be equal to 1. Using this formula, we can do some problems very quickly actually. Okay. The next formula I want to tell you is, if you have 2n plus 1 C0 plus 2n plus 1 C1 and so on, 2n plus 1 Cn, it can be written as 2 power 2n. This is one formula. The other formula, second formula is, if you have NCn plus n plus 1 Cn plus n plus 2 Cn and so on, 2n minus 1 Cn until here, then you can write 2n Cn plus 1 will be the answer. Okay, apart from this, some more cases we will see. Some interesting cases in some stories. For example, if there are n points in a plane, all these n points are distinct. Different n points are there, and no 3 points are collinear. Of course, 2 points have to be collinear, but 3 points are not at all. No 3 points are collinear. Then in such case, if you want to find how many line segments you can form, the number of line segments you can draw is, from these endpoints, you have to select 2 points to draw a line segment. This is how you will do. Suppose in the same story, if you want to find number of diagonals, if you want to find, okay, I will take a different one so that you won't get confused. I will take it as a different point. Oh, so now what I will say is, there is a polygon and it has n sides. Polygon with n sides. Then you will be counting how many diagonals you can draw in the in the polygon. You have to see how many diagonals you can draw. One second. Okay. So there is a polygon with n sides. You have to find the number of diagonals that can be drawn. This pen is troubling a little. The number of diagonals that can be drawn. So to draw the diagonals, n sides, n vertices. Out of these n vertices, you will be selecting 2 vertices to draw diagonals. But the n sides which are formed, they won't be the diagonals. That you have to subtract. Okay, if in other case, there are endpoints which are distinct. Different endpoints are there. But out of these, if m points are collinear, out of these n points, a few m points are collinear. And remember, these m points which are collinear will be greater than 3 points or equal to 3 points. Like sometimes 3 points are collinear, sometimes 4 points are collinear, sometimes 5 points are collinear. Like that, m points are collinear, but total n points are there. Out of that, only a few points are collinear. In such a case, if I want to find how many line segments I can draw, so what I will do is, from the endpoints, I have to select 2 points to draw the line segment. But from these m collinear points, if I select 2 points, I will get the same line again and again. So what I want to say is, I have m collinear points. From these m collinear points, if I select 2 points, like if I select 2 points and draw line segment, or if I select 2 points and draw line segment, or if I select 2 points and draw line segment, I'll be getting the same line segment. So I will not count. I will subtract them. But on the whole, this one line segment which is formed, I will count. So in this way, I will get how many line segments we can draw. The next is, again, we have total n points. All points are distinct points. So when we are taking n distinct points, remember they are different. Okay. If these endpoints are in a plane, they are in a plane. And no 3 points are collinear. So no 3 points are collinear is the condition. Now I have to draw triangles. How many triangles I can draw? That I have to see. So from these endpoints, I have to select 3 points to draw the triangle. This many triangles I can draw. Okay. Next, fifth one. If there are n points, all these points are different points in a plane. Now, out of these n points, if m points, a few points are collinear. Again, remember, these m are sometimes equal to 3, sometimes more than 3 points are also collinear. 4 points are collinear, 5 points are collinear. Then in such case, how many triangles can be drawn? The number of triangles we can draw is, from n points, I will select 3 points to draw the triangle. But out of these m points, if I select 3 points, I cannot draw triangle at all because these points are collinear. If 3 points are collinear, they can't form triangle. So I have to subtract them. In this way, I will get the number of triangles formed. Now, the sixth formula is, suppose there are n points on circumference of a circle. Total, there are n points. Suppose, taking these n points, I have to draw straight lines. How many straight lines I can draw? While drawing straight lines, I have to take these n points, and out of that, I have to select 2 points. And suppose the same case, if I have to draw triangles, how many triangles I can draw? Take this n points, select 3 points to draw the triangle. Similarly, if I want to draw quadrilateral, how many quadrilaterals I can draw? From these endpoints, from endpoints, I have to select 4 points to draw the quadrilateral so that this can continue. You can go for pentagon, hexagon, and all. Okay. Now the seventh formula is, suppose I have total n different objects. Different objects. Now out of this, I have to select the total number of ways in which it is possible to make a selection by taking some or all. Like if I want, I will select one object. If I want, I will select two objects. If I want, I will select three objects. If I want, I will select four. Or if I want, I will select all the n objects. So select some or all objects as you like. So that can be done in how many ways? Number of ways. There is a formula, and that is 2 power n minus 1. Okay, the next formula is, what is the relation between NCR and NPR? We know NPR is n factorial by n minus r factorial. But NCR is n factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial. So instead of n factorial by n minus r factorial, I can write NPR and in denominator r factorial. So this is how I can write NCR equal to NPR by r factorial, or NPR will be equal to NCR into r factorial. This is the relation, or this is the formula between NPR and NCR. Now, some more formulas we can see quickly. Suppose there are n different objects with you. Now you have to take r at a time. Take r at a time, in which, suppose if m particular objects, there are m particular objects which are always excluded, always removed, then the number of ways, of taking will be equal to, from n, you remove these m because they are excluded, and from the left of ones, select the r objects. Take the r objects. This is the formula. Suppose if I say, from n objects, you take r objects at a time, but m particular objects are always included. Always you have to select these m particular objects. Then in how many ways you can do that? First of all, from n, we will subtract m because anyhow we are going to include them. And similarly, we have to take r, but out of r, m are already taken. So I will remove those m objects and I will take only r minus m objects. From n minus m objects, I will take only r minus m objects. But after that, I have one more work. From our objects, I will be taking only M objects which are to be included always. So two works are combined here. Then only the work will be completed. First part of the work, second part of the work, I have to do it. Similarly, in combinations also, there is this is restricted permutations. What we have seen here is restricted permutation. That means I'm putting some condition. You take our objects, but see that M objects are included. See that M objects are excluded, like that. Similarly, you have restricted combinations also. There are some conditions for combinations also like this. Let us see that. The 10th one. Suppose you have total n different objects. And out of that, you have to select R at a time. But the condition is M particular objects are always excluded. Then the number of ways this can be done is from n objects, you remove the M objects because they are supposed to be excluded. And then from that, you can select R objects which you want. Similarly, if these M particular objects are always included, you have to include them. That is a must. Then number of ways of selection will be from N, you remove this M because anyhow you are including. Similarly, when you are selecting R, already you have selected M. So you remove the remaining, you will be selecting. So these are the formulas till now. Now we will do some formulas with shortcut methods, and I will give you examples also, because you will understand only with examples. Okay. The first one is, suppose I will give you a number. A number is given to you. Now, in this number, there will be digits. Every number will have digits, right? So, if I tell you example, you will understand better. I will take simultaneously and I will tell you with example. Suppose there is a number in example and it is formed by digits. What are the digits? 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have to see how many numbers can be formed. First of all, you have to know how many numbers can be formed. Numbers formed by given digits you have to take. And after that, you have to find the sum of numbers formed also. All the numbers which are formed, their sum you have to form. So for that, if I give you n digits, then how will you find the sum of numbers formed by the given n digits? What you have to do is, first you will take sum of all n digits. Then you will multiply with n minus 1 factorial. And then you will multiply with a number which has 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. How many ones it will have? It will have n times because you have n digits. This will be the answer for the sum. Now I will explain you with example. Suppose I am giving you total 4 digits. I gave you 4 digits. What are the 4 digits? 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 4 digits I gave. With these 4 digits, you can form many numbers. Numbers formed by these 4 digits. There are many. But after making the numbers, you have to find their sum. So how will you find? First, you will take all the digits which are given and add. Then you will multiply with, because you are given 4 digits, 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1 factorial. You have to multiply. Then you have to multiply a number which has 1 4 times. Because 4 digits are there, so 1 you will write 4 times. That means the number which is formed here is 1111. You have to multiply with that. So 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 4 9, plus 5 14, into 3 factorial is 6, into 1101. And that will be 93,324. So the sum of all the numbers formed by these 4 digits is 93,324. Like this, I will give you one shortcut formula and I will give you one example also by the side. Okay. Now, next example is, there is one type here. There is another type here. In the first type, there are m things of one type. And there are n things of second type. Now, I will arrange these things in a row. Arrange in a row. So that, what is the condition? These n things come together. When you are arranging these n things, they come together. So in how many ways you can do it? The number of ways. I'm giving you the number of ways to arrange. In how many ways you can arrange? You have to take n factorial and multiply with m plus 1 factorial. This is the formula. If I tell you example, it will be better. Suppose there are 5 boys. This is the second one. This is first example. Suppose there are 5 boys. I will count as one type. And then 3 girls. I will count as one type. Now they all have to sit in a row. Number of ways to sit in a row. But what is the condition? All 3 girls come together. The condition is all 3 girls sit together. So how many ways you can do it? Because all the 3 girls have to sit together, you will take 3 factorial. And then for boys arrangement, you will take 5 plus 1 factorial. And that will be 3 factorial into 6 factorial. And that is 4,320 ways you can arrange them. Like this, if you learn with examples, you can understand. Okay, the third formula. Again, there is one type of things and there is second type of things. Suppose the first type of things, n are there, and n minus 1 second type of things are there. Now you have to arrange them in a row. The number of ways to arrange these all things in a row. The condition is no two things of same type come together. No two things, either n first type n or second type n minus 1. No two things of same type come together. That is the condition. So what you have to take? You have to first take n factorial and then multiply with n minus 1 factorial. Explanation of all these, why I am taking all these formulas, that it will be learnt in PU. When you learn PU lessons, permutations and combinations, your teacher will definitely tell that. If you have already learned, your teacher has already told that. So now I will give you one example. Suppose there are 5 red balls. This is one type. And then second type, 4 blue balls are there. Now you have to arrange them in a row. So number of ways to arrange these 9 balls. I have written one R extra in arrange. Okay. So number of ways to arrange these 9 balls in a row. The condition is no two balls of same color come together. That is the condition. So what you have to do? First you have to take 5 factorial and then after that 5 minus 1, that is 4 factorial. This is 5, this is 5 minus 1. So 5 minus 1 factorial. That means 5 factorial into 4 factorial you have to take. And that means that will be 120 into 24. And that is 2880 ways you can arrange. Okay. Coming to the fourth shortcut formula. Again, first type things and second type things. Two types are there. If in the first type n things are there, and in the second type also n number of things are there. The types are different, but number is same. So number of ways to arrange all these things in a row. Number of ways to arrange all these things in a row. But the condition is they have to be arranged alternatively. You have to arrange them alternatively. That will be 2 into n factorial into n factorial. Now you need example for this. So let us take fourth example here. Suppose there are 5 boys, one type, and same number, 5 girls of another type. Now, boys are of one type, girls another type. So, number of ways to arrange them in a row alternatively. We will arrange one boy, one girl, one boy, one girl, because otherwise, if all girls will sit together, they will be talking. They will not listen anything. If all the boys will sit together, they will be shouting. They won't listen anything. That is why they have to be arranged alternatively. And that can be done in 2 into number of boys 5 factorial, number of girls 5 factorial. That means it will be 2 into 120 into 120. So the number of ways of arrangement is 28,800. Okay. Now we will go to the next board, next page. The fifth shortcut method is, suppose if there is first type and second type of things, two types of things are there. In the first type, m things are there. And in the second type, n things are there. Remember, m is greater than or equal to n. That is very important condition. And now you will see number of ways to arrange all these things in a circle, not in a row. This time we are arranging in a circle. So that, what is the condition? Important condition. These n things of second type, they should not come together. Did you understand what I said? What I'm saying is, these second type of things, n things, second type of things, n things, no two things should come together. No two things of second type should come together. That is the condition on the circle. So in how many ways you can arrange? You have to take m minus 1 factorial and multiply with mpn. So this is one formula. But in another formula, if I say you have to find how many ways you take to arrange all these things in a circle again, but this time second type of things come together, so that second type things come together, opposite of what I said before. For that, the formula is m factorial into n factorial. So two cases, opposite cases, and two different formulas. Suppose if you take examples with this. For fifth example, I will take one type, 5 men. Another type, 5 women. I will take same number. They can be same because I said m can be equal to n or m can be greater than n. Now I will find, first I will find number of ways to arrange all these people in a circle. What is the condition? No two women should come together, so that no two women come together. That is the first formula. So what you will do? First you will take 5 men minus 1 factorial. And then you will take 5 men. From that you will take 5 women and arrange. That means you will take 4 factorial into 5 factorial. 4 factorial is 24 into 5 factorial is 120. So you have 2880 ways. But in the same case, if I say I have to find number of ways in arranging all these 10 people in a circle, but the condition, I have to keep the condition so that all the women come together. All the 5 women come together and sit. Because they want to talk, they will come together and sit. So how many ways it will take? You will take 5 men, 5 factorial. You will take 5 women, 5 factorial. That means you will multiply 120 and 120. Total you will get 14,400 ways are there. Okay, let us go to next page. Sixth example we have to go. Okay, in this sixth example, I will take first type and second type of things. In first type, total m things are there, m number of things. And in second type, total n number of things are there. Now I have to make a garland. Number of ways to arrange or to make a garland. But what is the condition? This second type of things, all second type of things, all second type of things come together. So the number of ways will be m factorial into n factorial by 2. Suppose in the same case, if I say number of ways I have to form a garland or I have to make a garland in such a way that no two things of second type come together. If this is the case, in how many ways I can do? m minus 1 factorial into mpn by 2. If I give you one example, you will understand. So you also, to learn all these formulas, you take examples, you make story of your own and then use them. You will understand better. You will remember the formulas. Suppose I will give you one example. First type, there are 5 red roses. And second type, there are 3 white roses. Now you have to take number, first type, first case, the number of ways to make garland from these roses. What is the condition? I'm giving you all the white roses come together. When I make garland, all the white roses come together. So how many ways? First you will take 5 red roses, 5 factorial, 3 white roses, 3 factorial, and divide by 2. And that will be 5 factorial is 120, 3 factorial is 6 by 2. 2 times 60. So total 360 ways you can make the garland. Similarly, if I say number of ways you have to make a garland so that no 2 white roses are together. No 2 white roses are together. So what you have to do? First, you have to take 5 red roses, 5 minus 1. 5 red roses, so 5 minus 1 factorial. Then 5 red roses are there, so 5 p, 3 white roses, so 3 by 2. That means it will be 4 factorial. What is 5p3? Start with 5. They take 3 numbers. By already 2 is there. So 2 2's it will cancel. 4 factorial is 24 into 30. That is 720 ways the garland can be formed. Okay, let's go to 7th formula, shortcut formula. These all I'm writing in an order, giving proper number. So 7th formula. Seventh formula is whenever you have to find NPR by NPR minus 1, you can take N minus R plus 1 as the shortcut formula. For example, I will give you like NP3. Okay, example I will write with blue color. Yes. Example, suppose if I give you NP3 as 210 and I will give you NP2 is 42. And then I will ask you what is N minus 3 plus 1. Find out this. So I can take this formula NP3 by NP2 is N minus 3 plus 1. So if you want to find N minus 3 plus 1, what you have to do? Take NP3, 210. Divide by NP2, that is 42. So 21 ones, 0, 21 twos, or it is 5. Then 5 equal to N minus 2, N will be equal to 7. You can find what is N. Otherwise, they asked you directly what is N minus 3 plus 1. You can directly write 5 will be the answer. Here, whatever we got here, that 5 will be the answer. If they ask you what is N minus 3 plus 1, directly you can write it is 5. If they ask you N, you can write 7 also. In two ways, this formula is helpful. Okay, next we will go to 8th formula. This 8th formula will take place, so we will go to new page. Suppose you have a number. N is any number. What you will do is you will prime factorize this number. You know how to prime factorize this number. And then the number N you can write as prime factor P1 raised power K1 into prime number P2 power K2 into prime number P3 power K3. Like that, prime number PR K power R. So all these P1, P2, PR are prime numbers when you prime factorize. And all these numbers K1, K2, KR, how many times these prime numbers come in the factorization? That is what it tells. So if such is a case, then if you want to find the number of divisors of this number of divisors of the number N, divisors in the sense, remember, I am taking divisors means I am taking positive divisors and I am taking positive integral divisors. That means integers. When I'm counting the divisors, I'm counting integers, that too positive integers of this number N. That too, you have to write it as K1 plus 1 into K2 plus 1 into Kr plus 1. This is the formula. You will understand better if I give you one example. So suppose I will give you a number. That number I don't know, n, but already I have prime factorized it. That means I can write this number as 2 square into 3 cube into 5 power 4. See, 2, 3, 5 are prime numbers. And then the prime number 2 is coming 2 times, prime number 3 is coming 3 times, prime number 5 is coming 4 times. Such a number is there. Suppose if you want to find number of divisors here, number of divisors of n, how will I get? The power 2, I have to add 1 into power 3 plus 1 into power 4 plus 1. That is 3 into 4 into 5. 60 divisors will be there. Same way, one more example I will give you, but on another page because there is no place. Suppose I will give you a number 38,808. This time I'm giving you number, but I'm not giving you prime factors. So you have to find prime factors. How will you find prime factors? 38,808. I will divide by 2. 2 19s, 2 4s, 0 4s. Again, I will divide by 2. 2 9s, 18, 1. 2 7s, 14. After that, 2 zeros, then 2 2s. Again, I'll divide by 2. 2 4s, 8, 1. 2 8, 16, 1. 2 5s, 10, 2 1s. Now I'll divide by 3. 3 16s, 48. Then 3 1s, 3, 2, 3 7s. Again, I'll divide by 3. 3 5s, 15, 1. 3 3s, 9, 2, 3 9, 7. Now, 539, it won't come in 2 table, it won't come in 3 table, maybe it will come in 7 table. Of course, 5 it won't come. So I have to see only prime numbers, prime factorization. 7 7s, 49. So 4 7 7s, 49. Again 7 11 7. So I can write 38,808 as 2 is coming 3 times into 3 is coming 2 times into 7 is coming 2 times into 11 is coming 1 time. So after prime factorization, after writing like this, suppose if I want to write how many divisors, number of divisors I have to find of this particular number 38,808. I will take the power 3 plus 1 into power 2 plus 1, again power 2 plus 1 into power 1 plus 1. So 4 into 3 into 3 into 2. That is 72 divisors it will have. Okay. We will go to next page. We have taken 8 formulas. Okay. We will go to 9th formula. Okay. Again, I will take a number n. And then I will arrange it. I will go for prime factorization. N is a number. I will do prime factorization again. I told you how to do prime factorization. After doing prime factorization, the number n I will write prime number p1 power k1 into p2 power k2 into p3 power k3 into pr power kr. Remember, p1, p2, p3, pr, all these are prime numbers you are using during prime factorization. And K1, how many times P1 will come? K2, how many times P2 will come? K3, how many times P3 will come? KR, how many times PR will come? Like that. Now here you are finding the divisors. You are finding how many divisors are there. After finding the divisors, you are finding the sum also. Sum of all these divisors you are doing. That is the difference here. So what we are finding now? Sum of divisors. All these sum of all positive integral distinct divisors. Sum of distinct positive integers divisors that you are finding. Not only the number of divisors, you are finding the sum also of them. So the formula for that is the prime number P1 power K1 plus 1 minus 1 by P1 minus 1 into P2 power K2 plus 1 minus 1 by P2 minus 1 into, like that, PR power KR plus 1 minus 1 by PR minus 1. This is the formula. Of course, looking at the formula, you will get scared because the formula is very difficult. But if we do in this problem, like I gave you a number, I don't know the number, but I gave you the prime factors of it. I did prime factorization, 2 cube into 3 square into 5 power 4. So for these, you have to find the divisors, and after that, you have to find sum of divisors. You have to find the sum of divisors of n. So what is the formula? You will have 2. First prime factor is 2. 2 is coming 3 times. So 3 plus 1, 4, minus 1 by 2 minus 1 into the prime factor 3 is coming 2 times. So 2 plus 1 minus 1 by 3 minus 1 into the prime factor 5 is coming 4 times. So 4 plus 1 minus 1 by 5 minus 1. You have to do. So 2 power 4 is 16 minus 1 by 1 into 3 power 3 is 27 minus 1 by 2 into 5 power 5. You have to take 5 power 5. That is not easy to calculate. You know, 5 power 4 is 625. So one more times 5. 5 5 is 25, 2, 5 2 is 10, 12, and then 31. So 3125 minus 1 by 4. That means 15 into 26 by 2 into 3124 by 4. So here you can cancel 2 13s, here 4 ones, 4 sevens 28, 3, 4 eights 32, 4 ones. And when you multiply this, you will get the answer. At present, I'm not multiplying. I'm keeping it like this. You can multiply and find the answer for this. Okay. So now we will go to 10th formula, shortcut formula on the next page. If n items or n things are arranged in a row, the number of ways they can be rearranged so that no one of them occupies the place assigned to it. So already they are arranged. You rearrange them. Rearrange. How will you rearrange? So that no one occupies the place allotted to them. They'll go to different places. That can happen in how many ways? Number of ways you are finding. The condition I gave you. So the number of ways is, first you'll take n factorial, then you will take 1 minus 1 by 1 factorial plus 1 by 2 factorial minus 1 by 3 factorial. It goes on till you have minus 1 power n into 1 by n factorial. Now, how this formula is used and what is the situation is, suppose there are 5 letters. So 5 letters you will put in 5 envelopes. 5 letters in 5 envelopes you will put. They are already arranged. There are n things and these n things have n places. They are arranged. So now you are rearranging them. When you rearrange, what will you see? No letter goes to correct envelope. That means all letters go to wrong envelopes. Other way of saying. So how many ways this can be done? Number of ways. So I will take first 5 factorial. Then I will take 1 minus 1 by 1 factorial plus 1 by 2 factorial. Till where I will take minus 1 power 5 into 1 by 5 factorial. Till there. So after 1 by 2 factorial minus 1 by 3 factorial plus 1 by 4 factorial, and then this will be the last term. So we can simplify this. 5 factorial is 120. 1 minus 1 plus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 6 plus 4 factorial here. So 1 by 24 minus 1 by 120. So first of all, this 1 and minus 1 will cancel. 120 I will multiply everywhere. So 60 minus 20 plus 5 minus 1. That is 44 ways this can be done. So usually this kind of formula is asked. Quickly we will complete one more formula and we will end this class. 11th one is, there is one type and there is a second type. Now in first type there are m things and in the second type there are n things. Now what you have to do is the number of, I think this will take long time. This formula is very difficult to understand and it will take long time. So better this formula I will tell you tomorrow. Instead of that, I will tell another easy formula, 11th one, so that we can complete it quickly because we don't have much time. One easy formula I will take. Like for example, which I told you already. Suppose there is a number n. N is a number. I will do prime factorization for it. After prime factorization, the number n, I will be writing. How I will write? P1 power K1 into P2 power K2 into P3 power K3 into PR power KR. I already told you P1, P2, P3, PR are prime numbers which I use for prime factorization. Numbers, number spelling, I have to correct it. Numbers. It came numbers. Okay. Numbers. They are prime numbers. So what I have to see is I have to find number of divisors. Already I told you this. I will find number of divisors of n. But I will exclude 1 and the number itself. So the formula will be same I told you, k1 plus 1 into k2 plus 1 into k3 plus 1 like that into kr plus 1. But after doing all these, I will subtract two divisors, the number 1 and the number itself. So this I won't take much time. That's why I have taken this formula. Now what I will do, example, I will give you a number, same number, 38,808. I will do prime factorization. Do you remember what we got when we did prime factorization? 2 cube, 3 square, 7 square and 11. 2 cube, 3 square, 7 square and 11. So if you want to find number of divisors of this 38,808, but don't include 1 as a divisor and the number 38,808 itself as a divisor, don't include. Then what will you do? You will take how many times 2 is coming? 3 plus 1. How many times prime number 3 is coming? 2 plus 1. How many times prime number 7 is coming? 2 plus 1. How many times the prime number 11 is coming? 1 plus 1. After doing all these, subtract these two divisors. Subtract 2. So 4 into 3 into 3 into 2 minus, you have to take 2. That means 72 minus 2. Total 70 divisors in which you are not counting 1 and 38,808 as divisors. So I think today we have learned a lot. Tomorrow we will continue with more shortcut methods and we will do more problems also like this with examples. Till then, your work is to learn whatever is told and come prepared for the class. See you again tomorrow.